Today is an incredibly special day. I am in Toledo, Ohio, and I have been given exclusive access to go into the Jeep manufacturing plant where they build the Jeep Wrangler. I am so excited. I have been working on this project to get access to this for a long time, and they're gonna let me take the camera in there and film and show you guys how the Jeep Wranglers are built. I love watching how things are made. This is gonna be so exciting. And oh, by the way, they've loaned me a 2024 Jeep Wrangler 392 to drive today. So the drive up here, well, it's been a whole lot of fun, guys. This is gonna be a great day. I can't wait to go inside and see how these Jeeps are made. This is my first ever visit to Ohio, and as I'm making the drive to the assembly complex, I am just in awe of how incredible this place is. It's just after 7 a.m. and there are vehicles and trucks in action around every turn. The size of this place is absolutely massive. I expected it to be big, but I obviously didn't have a true grasp of just how big until now. The Toledo Assembly Complex covers over 312 acres. It's huge. Both the Jeep Wrangler and the Jeep Gladiator are built here, and today I will only have time to visit the North Assembly plant where the Wrangler is assembled. As I'm entering the facility, I can literally feel the atmosphere that is buzzing with energy. And out at the front entrance, there are some nice tributes to the military. It's great to see that Jeep is still holding fast to its heritage. As I get ready to step onto the factory floor, and oh, by the way, we will just ignore this sign here, I'm a little overwhelmed by it all. Skilled workers, state-of-the-art machinery, and incredible engineering all coming together to produce one of the most iconic vehicles in America. I'm realizing as I'm being carted from station to station that there is so much to see here, and how am I going to possibly film it all? So what I'm going to do today is take you along and show you as much as I can. I will interject some of my thoughts and impressions and mention some key points along the way, but what I want to do is let the assembly line tell the story. It's fascinating, and I honestly could spend days here just watching it all come together. All right. Here we go. All right, one of the first areas we're going to take a look at is where the body of the Wrangler all comes together. There are many pieces of stamped metal that are assembled to create the main body of the Wrangler, and both two-door and four doors are being assembled simultaneously by these precision robots that are quickly and efficiently welding all the parts together. So much fun to watch. There are approximately 870 robots here that are responsible for a wide array of jobs, from moving pieces and parts to welding, applying sealers and adhesives. It's mesmerizing to watch their choreographed movements, and I can't even imagine how much work it is to get them to operate all together in such perfect harmony. So cool to watch. Once the body of the Wrangler is assembled, they are transported over to the body shop, which is where we are making our way now. And honestly, if it wasn't for this cart, by the end of the day, I probably would have walked at least 10 miles just getting from place to place. Did I mention this place is massive? The body shop is where the newly assembled bodies are carefully inspected by precision optical machines and the careful eye of some skilled craftsmen. Once they have been fully inspected, they will make their way to the paint booth. Now, we stopped by the entrance of the paint booth and I was told we just didn't have time to see it. It's massive and it's 4 stories tall and there is over 1 million gallons of paint inside, and to try to see it would take hours. So we're just going to have to enjoy the finished product. A beautifully painted body that will now begin working its way further down the assembly line, where now it's going to get a little more hands-on assembly. I find it fascinating that each one of these bodies has its very own build sheet. So each one is a little different than the one in front of it or the one behind it, depending on the build specification. Also, simultaneously, the chassis and drivetrain are being built for each one of these bodies on the other side of the plant, and each one of those has its own unique specifications. And we'll see those being built and how they both come together here shortly. Now it's time for these painted bodies to begin their transformational path down the next assembly line road, and it starts with getting their badges. This one here looks like it's going to be a Sahara 4xe. I saw lots of handheld equipment like this one used throughout the day. Not only do they allow for precision placement of parts, but they also are engineered with ergonomics in mind. Many of the employees here will work at one station for a few hours and then rotate to another one depending on their training. So they are not doing the same repetitive motions over and over. And they have engineered the assembly line to make sure that everything is waist high or just a little bit above to prevent continuously having to bend over, and having some mechanical tools helps to prevent some chronic injuries. Beyond the technical side of things, I noticed as I walked around there's really a sense of camaraderie among the employees. They take pride in their work, and it's evident with the seamless collaboration throughout the entire production process. It was fun to watch. With the front end installed and a good portion of the body completed, we're going to shift our focus over to the chassis and drivetrain assembly area. There are these carts that move around, and they're called automated guided carts, AGCs. And these follow lines in the floor as they make their way down the assembly line. So what's going to happen is the frame is going to be set on here, and then all the pieces of the drivetrain will be installed while it's on this cart. And then just a little bit further down, the body and the chassis are all going to come together, and it's really going to start looking like a rolling driving Jeep. We're almost there. Here you can see a fuel tank being installed, and for me this is like watching a perfectly executed military drill maneuver in operation. Each person has to be exact with their synchronized movements because one mistake could stop the entire assembly line and cause a backup. There were several folks manning each area of the chassis as it was coming together. The axles were being installed with these big crane systems, and this is just well orchestrated. But one important piece with all these suspension components is to make sure that they are well stocked. And so there is a pretty good logistical system going on behind the assembly line to make sure that there's plenty of parts so these guys don't have to stop what they're doing. This whole plant is operating like a well-oiled machine. As I was walking along the last section of the chassis assembly area, it was lunchtime, so I wasn't able to see the rest of the drive lines come together. But here is a completed one, and you can see there are a lot of components that have been installed on this during its time here on the line. I also wasn't able to see the engine assembly line in action, but thankfully, by the time lunch was over, I was able to watch them install a few power plants. This one, because it has the orange wires, I believe is a 2-liter engine for a Jeep 4x. And here is a final chassis with all the suspension, driveline, engine components installed. What a piece of art. Okay, now we're gonna head over and go watch that be married with a body. The Jeep is starting to come together. This is where the Wranglers get all the appropriate fluids. These machines add the precise amount required. Plus, they install a little bit of gas in here so the Wrangler can make its way to its new home. They add exactly 5.4 gallons in the fuel tank. And I'm sure there's a very good reason for that exact number. I just forgot to ask what it is. After the wheels, doors, fenders, and interior are all installed, the Wrangler goes through a quick series of diagnostics to make sure that all the systems are working properly. And then a quick drive over to where the Wrangler gets one of its first tests. It's going to go through a shower and see if there's any leaks. Once it passes the leak test, it will work its way down an extremely well-lit area where many people are going to go through a series of inspections to make sure everything is in perfect working order before it rolls off the assembly line. And finally, they drive off the line. But don't go anywhere because there's still more to come. Some of these Jeeps aren't done yet. Many of the Jeeps that leave the Toledo Assembly Plant make their way over here, just across the street, to the Mopar Performance Custom Shop. Many of us love to customize our Jeeps, and today you can have dozens of Mopar Performance upgrades installed to your Jeep before it arrives to the dealer. And this is where all those parts are installed. The new winch that will be in the 2024 Wrangler will be installed here. Get upgraded wheels and tires. The new vinyl floor, which I think is an excellent option that I'd consider. There's also a lot of graphics that are done here. The bed liner for the Gladiators are masked off and sprayed by a robot at this facility. There are also robots that help with installing the new upgraded headliner. There are rock slider upgrades, bull bars, and even leather seat interior upgrades that are done here. All of this is done professionally and is covered under the Wrangler's warranty or the Gladiator's warranty if you're getting one of those. So it's something to really consider. It was great to see the process, and they are pushing hundreds of Wranglers and Gladiators through here every day.
Oh my gosh, guys, I can't tell you how much joy is in my heart right now. Today has been up there with incredible days to come here and see my favorite vehicle being produced here in America by some great people, by some awesome machines. Man, what an awesome day, what an awesome experience. I hope you have enjoyed this incredible tour. A huge thanks to Jeep for making this happen. There was a lot of work to get me here, to allow me to film, and I am so appreciative to the entire team. A huge thanks. What a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.